Okay, hey guys, this is my brother Archer. Archer, say hello.
Hello.
Okay, now let's get right into it.
Insane asylum experiments.
That's right, Archer.
I guess that's the title.
Number 12.
Doda, Lana, and
Look, right here.
Dora, Lana, the fix.
It's pronounced rotational therapy.
Okay. Rotational therapy.
Okay, patients were strapped down to a chair. Okay, and yeah, they would be spun from a few times to hundreds of 100 rotations per minute. Okay, and this would make them puke. Okay. Okay, for those who passed out, they are lucky that they got a good night's sleep.
This is real. Okay, do you know where my finger went? No.
No. Okay, and there was a person pulling the lever. For a person on the chair, yeah, it's pretty horrifying. But for the person pulling the lever, it'll be a great workout. Ow. Number 11.
Moral therapy.
That's right, Archer. Moral therapy is when people set rules. But insane asylum patients weren't good at following the rules. They would forget it. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of methods, but I'm just counting the most common punishments. Okay, They were severely beaten. They could be forced to eat a bag of circus peanuts. Let's. Okay. Okay, and included rotations. 10 chairs, which I've covered before. The only reason this isn't in the top 10 is because I'm just counting the most common methods. Okay, they can subject patients to whatever they want. Number 10.
Hydrotherapy.
Okay, guys, we have made it to the top 10. And these punishments are going to be, these experiments, are going to be nightmare fuel. Okay? Starting with hydrotherapy. And this is exactly what you'd expect it to. It's therapy involving water. Okay? But this was cold water. Okay? There's a lot of methods. I'm just putting the most common ones in here. Okay? Okay? Prisoners would be trapped in cages and then dunked into the water. And it's freezing cold, by the way. Which is why I put it up to nightmare. It would be a nightmare for the patients. Okay, they would stand on a trapdoor and it would open and they would be dunked in. Okay? Okay, being forced to stay in a bath for hours at least. And it was cold water, like I said earlier. Okay, and Sometimes people were strapped down. Okay, and there were people wearing wet towels, laying in beds, and they were soaked with cold water. And the sign that the treatment is working, doctors would take it as it's working. It's just at the start of the top 10 because the last 9 experiments are worse. This. Okay, number 9.
Convolutory confinement. Convolutory confinement.
It's pronounced solitary confinement. Huh. And yes, this is exactly how you'd expect it to be. Okay, patients were put in to solitary confinement. Okay, and they would throw themselves onto walls and bump their heads. Okay? And then they had to make straight jackets. But they would still do this and injure. Bump their heads. Okay, so the confinement had to be lined up with foam. Okay, or soft substance. So that people don't injure themselves. Or should I say patients, specifically. Okay, and this experiment is actually similar to another entry, which we'll get to later. Okay, it was happening for days or even weeks. Number 8. Archer, come on.
How do you pronounce this?
Okay, this is tranquilizing chairs in case you guys didn't know. Okay.
I'm gonna leave right now to go get a pair of scissors. Because I need to open my pack of gum.
Okay. Okay, tranquilizing chairs. Patients would be strapped down. Down and there was a bag under them to collect waste.
So I had to get a knife. Because I didn't find scissors. I bought a knife at least.
And they were... Okay, and there was something... Okay, a helmet-like thing placed, and they could only see what was directly in front of them. Okay, people, they did this because they believe that did this to correct blood flow. Using muscles. Souls causes damage to the blood flow. Okay, and patients would be left here for hours or even days. Here. The reason this is more terrifying than in the previous experiments is because some patients found it nightmare fuel. Okay, and sometimes there was a device that would stop people from screaming, which is pretty crazy. Number 7.
Restrain cages.
Okay, it's pronounced restraint cages. Okay, this is exactly what it sounds like. Patients were put in a cage. Okay, and and doctors believed it could make them reflect on their bad behavior. But insane asylum patients did not do that. Okay, they would freak out, and the more insane the patients were, the longer they were kept in. Okay, some cages were big enough to take a few steps, while some were so small that they could barely fit a person, making them unable to move. Yeah, and this is actually similar to solitary confinement. But this one is worse because of how small the cages can be. And it's worse than tranquilizing chairs as well. Because they go more insane. Unlike tranquilizing chairs. Number 6. Archer, come and read this.
Bloodletting.
Okay, bloodletting. It works exactly how you'd expect it to. Okay? Okay. Doctors would collect blood from the patients. Okay, because they believed that blood letting could get the bacteria that's making people sick out. Okay, but this would make the symptoms worse, because patients need blood to survive. Okay? Would die. And, okay, doctors, they believe they were doing it the wrong spot, and they would target the head. Okay, and it was a failed cure for the plague. People try to cure the plague using this. Okay, but it failed. People would die. Number 5.
Fever and happy.
It's pronounced fever therapy. Okay. Okay. Fever therapy is where doctors would inject patients a substance that would give them fevers. I rate it as hellish nightmare because, yeah, it's basically torture for the patient.
Yo, what do you got? Doing a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Archer, get out. Go play with your cousin. Leo, when you're done, you and your YouTube video. Hello, YouTube family. It's Leo's father. I hope this is appropriate. What is this?
Oh, these are insane asylum
Okay,
experiments.
sounds good. Okay, I know. I got you. Archer, I need you outside to play with your cousin. Come on. No, I got you. Come on.
Archer's collaborating with me. And they would constantly get fevers. Okay. And they would do this for months on end. Okay, and they believed it was. Number 4. Here.
Insulin shock therapy.
Okay. This is similar to our previous entry. Okay, where patients were injected certain substance. Okay. Okay, but Okay, and this is worse because of more symptoms. Okay, people who received this therapy got obesity. And yeah, like some of the previous entries, they would all. Okay, some of them would die during the therapy. Number 3. The bronze medal of terrifying goes to
Sorry, Leo. I can't. I have to go play outside with my cousin.
Okay, you want to announce it?
Yeah, I do. Electrical on vice, the ultra on convulsive therapy. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm just going.
Archer, pick those wipes up.
Sorry.
Okay? Okay? Electroconvulsive therapy, it works exactly how you'd expect it to. Okay? Okay, they tried it on pigs. Okay, and they tried on pigs and the pig turned calm. So, yeah, they decided, well, and they tried it on humans. Okay, I put this as the bronze because tried it with schizophrenia. So electricity. Okay, this was done on a daily basis. Okay, and sometimes people would do multiple occasions per day. Okay? Oh, I should not show that. Okay, and okay, this is basically torture. My mother. Okay, and from here on out, I'm gonna be saying these experiments, not my brother. because he has to play outside. Number 2. Okay, the silver medal of terrifying goes to Trefentations. Okay, they would strap patients down to a chair and drill a hole in their brains, in their skulls, I mean, ranging from the width of a pencil to the size of a tennis ball. And this was done on any part of the skull imaginable. Okay, doctors believed it would reduce pressure on the skull. Okay, and it was brought to insane asylums, but the reason that they did it because they believed there was a demon in there. And this was before the Ouija board was invented. So they believed it didn't have a choice. Okay, and this is actually similar to our last entry. And the only reason it's not at the top is because there's still one more that's even worse. Number 1, the gold medal of terrifying goes to lobotomies. Okay, lobotomies are hands down the most terrifying insane asylum experiment. Okay, these are basically the same thing as trefentations. But the reason this is more terrifying than trefentations is because they don't just drill a hole into the skull. Hey, doctors, person who would experience, there's actually 2 versions of lobotomies. Okay. No. Okay, and this version of lobotomy, they poured alcohol in the person's skull. Okay, and yeah, and this version of lobotomy goes further by using a specialized tool. Okay, this is a tool, not a human part, okay, guys. And take brain tissue. No, guys. Brain tissue out. Okay, and completely changes their personality. Okay, the effects, which is lights number 1, is could make people would be unable to move their arms, their legs with this version of lobotomy. Or their face. Okay. And there's another version of this as well, which is worse, in my opinion. Okay? And this is Walter Freeman's version of the lobotomy, who was an absolute maniac. Okay? He made his own version of lobotomy. And no, it was not because he believed it was better in any way. It's because it was quicker, which is the only reason he made it. Okay? He would put a special tool in the patient's eye socket and scramble the brain tissue. How, you might be wondering, would he know what part of the brain he's scrambling? Well, I'd like to go by field of view. Okay, and most patients died from this. Okay, the people who survived were never the same again. Being unable to function. Independently. Yeah. Independently. Okay, and credits will go to. Okay, they were. Regular people. What? No, I don't. Okay, and And this was so... His experiments were so convincing that even regular people decided to pay him. Even regular people decide to pay him, which is pretty crazy. Okay, I'm gonna credit or okay, the credit goes to Archer Mata. Okay. Mata for helping me stay in school, get good grades, and for the love of God, don't end up in an insane asylum. Because they perform terrifying experiments. Okay. I will see you in the next video. Don't. Yeah.